What's up, everyone? Yeah, we're recording. Now I'm all paranoid because I haven't done this in a while. Another episode of the Tom Hayden Show. This is like 3 or 4 weeks since I've recorded the last ones. I recorded Bruno, Himmy, and Uncle Dunk all within a week of each other, and just set them up to come out 3 weeks after I recorded them. You saw them like one, two, three, so you like saw them 6 weeks after I recorded the Uncle Dunk one, essentially, which is crazy. Um, I'm having so much fun doing this. They're going to be more sporadic. They're not going to be like every weekly. It's just gonna be when I have time and a kick-ass guest to talk to, and I am so excited to talk to our guest today. So he's actually my fucking neighbor. We grew up in neighboring towns, and ToppoWoppo is the internet personality name. I'll let him introduce himself. And dude, everything about you I like. Like the more we interact, the more I like you. I hope you know that too. Like every interaction, I'm like, this dude goes up another ring on the pedestal. You know, he's like just climbing notches on the fucking ladder of life in my mind. Like I can't get enough of interacting with you. So I'm so happy you joined me on today's show. Incredible Twitch streamer, incredible Trick Room player. Topo, take it away. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into Pokemon. I
Yeah,
don't know
of
this
course.
answer. I'm so excited.
um, yeah. First off, thank you for having me on. It's an honor. I've actually watched your past interviews, but I'm known online as ToppoWoppo, or a lot of people just call me Toppo. I'm an account manager working at a tech startup by day, VGC Twitch streamer by night. Um, yeah, I'm a former New Yorker, currently living in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. Mostly just known for being a Trick Room One Trick who plays really weird Trick Room teams. I absolutely love Trick Room. It's what makes VGC fun for me. I don't have any accolades, unfortunately, to brag about in VGC. Probably my biggest accomplishment in any VGC event would have to be making top 16 at what was probably the biggest local in the 2023 season in Jersey.
Oh, I
But
remember that.
besides that, yeah,
That was a lot of
uh,
fun. I bombed that
yeah.
shit.
I just got lucky, honestly. I got lucky. That's all
Oh,
that was.
your team was cool. You were running in DDR Mirage Torkoal stuff, like I was too, and we were running like very similar teams. United Away was too, and
Yeah.
I got my ass handed.
I like just bubbled out. I think I got like 4-2, and then I got top 16, and I was like, all right, that's cool. 6 championship points. I'll take it. Yeah. um, yeah, but aside from that, I mostly just stream ladder on Twitch. I'm also married, and I have a son who's about to turn a year old in a few weeks.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
I didn't realize
Thank you.
your son was that young. I knew you had a kid. I didn't know how old. I didn't like. Hey, that's awesome. So, what's this last year been like with the full-time job, Twitch streaming, and an infant?
It is a lot, but I'm happy about it. Always wanted to be a father, so now I am. But uh, I'd say the only negative is that I couldn't really attend events. Well, I pretty much didn't attend events. Period. In the 2023 season, I wanted to go to Charlotte, but I got cold feet. Because my son was only like 5 months old at the time, and got to prioritize family,
Yeah.
over VGC. So, yeah, but I mean, nonetheless, looking to at least attend NAIC over in June. So,
See you there.
yeah,
Me,
absolutely, yeah,
me and Jin are rooming together, I think, but I'll probably have an Airbnb. Let me know if you want in on that.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Mhm.
dude, but how did you get into Pokemon? And like, we'll talk about Pokemon before we start Twitch streaming too. Like,
Yep.
how did you get into this hobby?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty old. I'm 30 years old, believe it or not, and I've been a fan of Pokemon since around maybe 1998, 1999. I think my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Red, and I had one of those OG Game Boys that were like bricks. They were like gray with purple buttons. They didn't have any color on the LED screen. It was all just green and black. It required like 4 batteries just to operate. Um,
Before the
yeah,
green, before the like the tall green one, right? It was before that Game Boy.
yeah, it was like it was like literally a brick. It was
Yeah.
absolutely massive. There was no color to it. I don't know if there was a Game Boy that came before that, but this is
Was it
like I think this
vertical?
was
Like,
like it. No, it wasn't. It wasn't vertical. It was like the same shape as a. It wasn't the Game Boy Advanced. It was It was like the Game Boy that came before the Game Boy Color, which was like
Oh,
reasonably sized. It was like massive. It was
I think I had
yeah,
the
it was
Game
like
Boy
ancient.
Color. That's what I mean. I think you had the one before me.
Yeah, I had the
Yeah.
one before you. Yeah, so that's what I had originally. That's what I played Pokemon Red on. Um, but growing up, I loved playing the games. I loved watching the anime. But as I got older, Pokemon just became a seasonal thing for me in the sense that I would only play the newest mainline games. Whenever a newer generation came out for maybe like the first few months or so when the hype was like really high, and then afterwards I almost never touched the games again. Um, Pretty much due to just getting bored of them, and this pattern pretty much continued um, up until Sword and Shield came out in 2019. Um, yeah.
Did you know EVs and IVs were Sword and Shield?
Um, so I did. Um, it's funny because I had been interested in the idea of competitive Pokemon ever since discovering that it was a thing in like the Gen 4 days because of EVs and IVs. Like at first I had like no idea what at first I had no idea what EVs were, where IVs were. Like I read like EV and IV, I'm like, what the heck is this? But then I learned what EVs were because they were like pretty simple. Right? You just like either give them like protein or iron, or you just kill like a certain kind of Pokemon and it'll give you a certain number of IVs. But I still didn't really have an understanding of how IVs worked. Um, like I read it, I'm just like, what does any of this mean? So I ended up giving up on trying to build a competitive team back in like Generation 4 because I was like, IVs are too complicated. And I didn't fully understand or even try to understand like what IVs were until Generation 6 because Generation 6 just made it so much easier with the change in Destiny Knot because you could like pass down 5 as compared to like only 3 guaranteed IVs. And I finally understood how to build, a team of battle ready Pokemon based off of that. But um, I still didn't like get into competitive Pokemon because like I just built like Pokemon that I thought were cool instead of like ones that actually like synergize with one another and that would like make sense in like a VGC format. So it was mostly just like me like building like Pokemon with perfect IVs, um, you know EVs like spread out well, but like they didn't synergize with one another. And yeah, obviously I didn't get a good amount of wins on whatever like the ladder was back then during Generation 6.
Did you have any friends you played with, or were you just soloing it? Like, let me play online with, like online ladder.
So I did in like, well, no, not really. Like I'd say like in when I was like in 11th grade, that was like 2010. There were like people, yeah, there were people in my school who, like, I don't know who would just be like, "Hey, Topo, I want to battle you," and we'd battle, but like even they didn't like know what EVs were, so we just like battled just to battle. It wasn't like
Oh,
it
you
wasn't
smoked
anything
them all.
formal. um, yeah, I mostly smoked them all. I think I lost to like one guy like one time, and that was about it. But also like it wasn't even like VGC; it was just singles. So I'd say in my school, no, nobody knew like anything about like competitive Pokemon or EVs or IVs. And then even after I graduated and like I finally understood what all of that was, none of my friends were really into Pokemon like that. So I
Yeah.
was pretty much just all on my own.
See, dude, and I had the opposite because I stopped playing Pokemon in middle school. And then if I didn't have a friend that played, I never would have got back in. And it's just like I had a friend teach me everything where you're really out here grinding, learning it, on your own, which is really cool to see though. And like I feel like that's why the barrier is so high though. Like learning it yourself was not easy. It took you a couple of generations, and it's just like
Yeah,
it's oh man. Let's talk about Sword and Shield though.
of
What
course.
what changed? What made that change into getting into competitive?
Right. So, when I first got Sword and Shield, I went through like that same thing that I told you about, where like I thought Pokemon was just going to be like a seasonal thing for me. Right. It's like a new game hype. Everybody's like riding on the hype. Everybody's like into it for like the first month or two, and then boom, never touch Pokemon again. So in a
Yep.
way, that sort of yeah, um, and that did happen for Sword and Shield. right? Like I was like I actually did build a pretty decent rain team when Sword and Shield came out, but I never even tried for Master Ball. Like I got to Great Ball, and I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Right.
Yeah, I'm great. Not even Ultra, but just great. Um, yeah, but like yeah, it was, you know, I played it up until January and I just got bored of it and I just stopped touching it. And then I guess you know, COVID happened. And I guess you know, during COVID, I don't want to like be like too much of a downer, but um it was like kind of like a pretty dark time in my life during 2020, like when quarantine happened. I'm not really sure why. Maybe because I just like felt lonely, or maybe like you know the yeah, the lockdown was just like really starting to hit me for whatever reason. Even though I am introverted and normally I don't really go out anyway, but like something about it just like really got to me. But regardless, one day I was, you know, working from home, and I decided to tune into Twitch, and I saw Pokemon was live, and this was in I think like June of 2020. So I tuned in to the Pokemon stream, and they were playing. I think it was called the Players Cup. It was like
Okay.
I think the first like major like online tournament of like official online tournament of the Sword and Shield era, and it was won by I think Santino Tarquino.
Yep.
He was playing like a yeah he was playing like this colossal team. Um, so
Colossal's
I
my
watched
dog. Dude. And that's why I loved that Players Cup. I'm like, I perked up with the mention. Oh, he's gonna bring up Colossal.
yeah I like I didn't even know colossal could be that good, but like I just like I forgot how far into the tournament I tuned in, but I tuned in and I'm like, wait a second, this is like actually really cool. Like this is actually like really fun to watch. And I just couldn't stop watching. You know, I like you know, I just kept watching like every minute of it. As I was working, I tuned in every day that it was on up until the finals, I think, which was between Santino and G Sock Lee. And yeah, I mean, we just saw like Santino just like absolutely take it home. And after that, I just thought to myself, hey, you know, I really need to get back into Pokemon. Like, you know, like I want to play like those guys do. So I
That's
did.
so cool. That's so
Yeah,
cool. Oh
yeah. It
gosh.
was yeah,
Yeah,
it
no,
was
that's
just
like,
because of the Players Cup. Yeah,
oh wow. Can't believe the Players Cup did that for you. It probably did that for a lot more people than I anticipated, like, or thought of.
yeah.
Oh, dude, Colossus. I used to make every draft team. So when I first got into competitive, I was exclusively draft, and
Mhm.
Colossal was on my first like three. And
Oh
I,
wow.
yeah, I loved that. I built every team around. Yeah, so after seeing the Players Cup and getting into it, you attempted to get to Master Ball, I'm guessing. And is this when you started streaming on Twitch?
So not yet, but
Okay.
yes, it is what inspired me to get to Master Ball. Because like I guess like you know like now you know we've been playing VGC for like years, so like for like me, you, and like a lot of other people, like getting to Master Ball is like probably like the simplest thing like nowadays, right? Like the ladder drops and you just get to Master Ball 4-0 easy, don't even
Not
break a
even
sweat. You, yeah, you're not even concerned. Like, am I going to get to Master Ball again? Can I make it to Master Ball? Of course I can make it to Master Ball. Like at this point, like, you know, for us, it's like the simplest thing. But like for me, I was thinking like back then, like after the Players Cup, like I really need to get to Master Ball. And I know I can. So that's when that's like the first time I like tried like getting to Master Ball, and yeah, I got into it. I'm like awesome. You know, now I'm the highest you know possible rank that you can be in Sword and Shield, and that made me feel like I guess like that sort of like made me feel like really accomplished.
I
For
got
the
to
reason
top
that like
500 on the ladder, and I told all my friends I was one of the best in the world. And
oh
I was like,
hey
yeah, I think I'm one of the best
I've
in the
done that
world.
too.
And I didn't
I
realize the levels there were. But yeah, no, dude, that's a huge accomplishment when you're first starting. Getting to Master Ball, that first monkey off your back moment, it's like, oh, I'm here. I'm like, I'm good at
yeah
this.
yeah
Oh,
and
dude.
yeah. And the other reason it like made me like I guess like feel so accomplished back then was because before like Pokemon, I just played like nothing but League of Legends. I don't really play it anymore. But like in League of Legends, like the highest you can get is like Challenger, and then like the ranks that like actually matter, I think, are like Diamond and like up. And I never hit Diamond in League of Legends. Well, it would be like Diamond 1. Well, so like I never hit anything close to that. So like for like the years I played League of Legends, I was just thinking to myself, yeah, I'm like literally just mid. I'm literally just like mid tier in League of Legends, right? But then like yeah, but in Pokemon, it's like, oh, I hit Master Ball. That's like the highest you could possibly achieve, rank wise. So I think like it just gave me like a kind of like feel good, like feeling that I was able to hit the highest possible, even though like I guess like the bar for like hitting Master Ball is like a lot lower than like hitting like the highest rank in League of Legends. But like nonetheless, like you know, I just felt like, hey, I'm playing this like so much better than I am in League of Legends. So and like the game's like so much simpler. Doesn't make me angry like League of Legends does. So I was like, let me ride this thing out. Um, and that's exactly what I did. And I just kept grinding ladder. And in addition to grinding ladder, I was like watching a lot of VGC streamers that I started like discovering after the Players Cup. And I would like watch these streamers religiously, and they just be like, they'd be like huge inspirations to me to like wanting to start streaming. And I ended up starting streaming. Um, 3 months I think like 3 months after like the Players Cup, and also because like I was like watching like these like VGC streamers like nonstop, like day in and day out, and they just really inspired me to start streaming. And
You want to
some of
shout
them I
any of them
even
out?
still watch today. Yeah, for sure. So the ones that I originally started watching, there was Mastermark VGC.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, he's probably the one that I watched the most. There was Joe UX9. There's Nino, Professor Ragna, Jin Fury, Lucky Wolf, and there was also Auxiliary. But I don't. I'm pretty sure Auxiliary hasn't like streamed VGC in like almost 3 years. The last time she like streamed anything VGC related was like probably like super late 2020 or early 2021. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just stating that like matter of factly. But those were like the streamers that I like watch like day in and day out, and the ones that like really inspired me to start streaming VGC.
dude, Jin's the same for me. So the first tournament I ever joined was, and the like the draft league I got invited to through Twitter was all like super fans of his that found each other in his Discord and Twitch chat. They were like, "Let's start a draft league." I was like, "Who the fuck is Jin Fury?" And now he's like one of my closest friends in the VGC world. Like even outside, like VGC, I consider him a friend. Like it's just like he had me sleep at his house. He introduced me to his dad and his kids, and it's just like he got me at his birthday. I'm like, dude, we're really like we've eclipsed like VGC friends to actually friends, and like I started as like a huge fan of your Twitch. Like that's a crazy. It's crazy to see though, and now like it's just like this. He's awesome. Joe is amazing. Like all the people you named. I don't know Lucky personally, but like it's just so cool to see that those are the people too. And like now I think you're doing that for people too, man. Like your streams are now doing that for people too, which is really cool to fucking see. You know? But
Yeah,
like the reason I love your Twitch too is like we were talking about this before. You tweeted out your stream summary and it was like identical to my stream summary. I was like, "Oh my god, it's cool to see someone else like doing this. It's cool to see someone else doing this." Like, it's just like, "Oh my god, that's so fucking cool." Like I don't know. I guess I'm not putting it into words well because you look at guys like Nino and Jin and all these partners, and it's like it's hard to get there, man. But it's like we grew a lot since we first started. Like when you first started streaming, how did you go about getting your audience? I guess. Like I guess that's a weird question. I don't know. How to phrase it. But like, how did you first start gaining traction on Twitch?
yeah, of course. So I was actually streaming on Twitch prior to
Oh,
streaming VGC, but it was like it was all like League of Legends. And honestly, my Twitch was just a complete joke. Like League of Legends has like such a League of Legends has like such like a broad audience, and it's like the most viewed game on Twitch. So like the chance of anybody discovering your stream if you're streaming League of Legends is pretty much non-existent. But um, yeah, but like Pokemon, like if you look at Pokemon, like there's not a lot of viewership, but in my opinion, the fact that there's not a lot of viewership on Twitch for Pokemon is actually a good thing for like someone who's like smaller like myself. I guess like my logic behind it is that because it's smaller, right? Like you're like more easily discoverable, and because like VGC is like so niche, if somebody like goes onto Twitch and they like put in like the tag for VGC, yeah, they're likely gonna find you. Whereas like if you go on like League of Legends, and you're looking for someone who's like playing ranked, or yeah, if you're looking for someone who's playing ranked, it's like there's going to be like hundreds and hundreds of streams. Nobody's going to scroll all the way down just to find you. Whereas like VGC, it's a VGC, it's not like that. And then also, of course, like if you're smaller, there's the chance that somebody bigger can end up rating you. Yeah, and that's I'd say that's probably how I ended up getting most of my audience, because like I was just basically streaming VGC for like the first few months to nobody. Like maybe like 5 people discovered me within like the first like few months. And then in January 2021, I think, I was streaming, and then Mastermark rated me for like 100 something people, and just like everyone else who gets to like their first raid, I was like completely stunned. And then I got like a whole bunch of follows, like more so in like one stream than any other stream I've ever done. And from I think from there, like I just like kept like honestly, like yeah, I kept streaming, I guess, like in the hopes that like somebody big would like raid me again. I'd like go online, I'd stream like to nobody, and I just think to myself like, okay, hopefully somebody raids me again. And I guess like it happened like a few more times with Mastermark, so like I'll always be forever grateful to him, because
He's
I feel
so
like
cool.
yeah, he absolutely is, and he's like probably like the biggest reason, or like the primary streamer out of like all the ones that I like shouted out, as to like why I started like streaming VGC and like wanted to like continue streaming VGC, because like guys like him, he's like so big, and like he's always like rating like the smaller streamers, trying to give them exposure. I think that's just like the coolest thing. um
Kicked my ass at Pittsburgh too.
did he?
Yeah, dude, I forgot. I skill swapped his heat ran. I skill swapped heat ran. I got flash fire. He swapped out heat ran. I kill everything else. He switched back in heat ran. I'm like, I just skill swap eruption. I skill swap flash fire.
Oh no.
And he gamed on me. He was like, yeah, it happened once in one of my practice matches. I was like, it might happen again. And he was 100% right. So he's like a gamer too. He's not just like a streamer. He's like a gamer. And then his
Yeah.
viewership is so cool to see. Shout out Mark. Shout out
Yeah.
Master
Shout
Mark.
out to Mastermark.
Yeah, dude, that's so cool. And dude, I was streaming one day when you hopped into my stream. I love that our paths crossed on Twitter or Twitch, I forget. And you just see that Bayville in my uh Twitter bio because I put my hometown. I'm proud of my hometown. Long Island,
Yeah.
shout out Bayville, New York. And it's a small town. If you know anyone in Bayville, there's a chance they might know me. And it's just like cool to say that, you know? And you're like, dude, I know this kind of weird, but I grew up in Glen Cove. I'm right next door. I was like, holy fuck. That's so cool. The similar backgrounds. I went to camp, the YMCA camp in Glen Cove. Like, I love Glen Cove. And I love like our background. To see us doing similar stuff is really interesting to me. You know, because I don't know if anyone else from our area is into Pokemon. Like, I don't know any like I haven't met anyone from what's it called? Uh I was gonna say Glen Cove. You know, like I haven't met any other Bayvillians. I mean, Oyster Bay. Like I haven't met any Oyster Bays that play Pokemon. I haven't met any like other Glen Cove people. I haven't met any other Bayville people like around our age that are in this niche hobby. And I feel like it's like crazy. You know, like I don't know how big or small the game is. I know Pokemon's the highest grossing media franchise in the world. I put quotes around it because I heard it in a Logan Paul video, so I'm not sure if it's true. But I mean, like, dude, it's just so cool to me. Is I guess I'm just rambling again because I don't know. It's I don't really know how to put it into words. But what do you think is the reason that no one else in our area is obsessed with this shit like us? Like I didn't play growing up though. So me I did I just started playing when I was in California. But I played like until I was Ruby Sapphire. I forget when Ruby Sapphire came out. That was the last game I played. And it's just like I wish I was into it when I was younger in our area. Like are there any how do we improve the local scene, I guess? How do we like meet more people in our area that play because I'm sure there's got to be more people like us that like Pokemon. We just never met
Yeah.
them. Like, how do I guess that's what I'm rambling about. I'm sorry I'm rambling so much. But yeah, what do you like? Have you met anyone else in our area? No, right?
No, not anyone who like plays VGC like you and I,
Yeah.
for sure. And also like just growing up, in Glen Cove. I don't know where it was like with for like everywhere else, but I was actually kind of like discouraged from like playing Pokemon back when I was a kid because like everybody would be like, oh, like Pokemon's for like Pokemon's for children, which was a really stupid statement because like we were in like third or fourth grade at the time, so like we were literally children. But I guess like I don't know. Every like when I was like growing up, like I like kind of had to like hide the fact that like I like Pokemon, or else I get like made fun of. And then it was like the same thing in like middle school.
Middle school me,
Whereas I
yeah.
guess like yeah, and then like nowadays, like if you like Pokemon, that's like cool. And then like people who used to make fun of me for liking Pokemon, um, you know they like Pokemon now. But I guess that, but I mean, I guess I can't really blame them. Like they were kids. I can't say
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I didn't say that like I had like that opinion on like certain other media that wasn't Pokemon. So I mean, I guess it's totally understandable that they made fun of me for playing Pokemon at the time, and now they're cool with it. It's all part of growing up. But
Has
I
anyone from
yeah
your
I
hometown discovered your stream and just hopped in and made
um no, besides like friends from my hometown that like I told like, hey, I stream on Twitch. No, nobody from my hometown would bother doing that. And also I don't like posting on Facebook. Like I don't even go on Facebook. So like
Are
yeah,
you on
nobody
the
from my
Instagram?
hometown. I am on Instagram. I actually made a I actually made an Instagram just for like VGC,
Mhm.
like separate from my personal one. But yeah, I need to like post on it. But I think my coworkers, they know that I stream, but I mean none of them like tune in, which is completely understandable. But some of them I like convinced them to like subscribe to me using like Twitch Prime, and some of them do. So it's a
Hey,
little extra
shout
money
out to
for
them.
it's a little yeah, it's a little extra money for me, but I don't expect them to like actually like tune in and sit in and watch. Like if a coworker like told me like, hey, can you watch my stream? I probably wouldn't. So I totally understand them not watching.
I have a boss that clerk, and that's even
Oh,
funnier to me. They've never chatted. They're like, "Oh yeah, so your stream had a lot of viewers last night because he watches Valorant." He actually gave me
yeah.
a great idea too. Shout out Sal. But what's it called? Sal, the assistant general manager at Jersey Mike. Assistant to the general manager. No, I don't. He's just he's GM. Um, dude, I think I'm gonna start doing Discord subs like his Valorant streamer does. He has a favorite Valorant streamer that does Discord subs. I was like, you know what? I might steal that idea, Sal. Like you got my brain cooking. So I think November 1st I'm gonna release that. So this is like anyone watching this is gonna get a little preview of that. So I'm excited about that. Like, yeah, no, dude. I have random people now because I would post on Instagram. Hey, I'm 1-0 at so and so tournament. I'm 2-0. I'm 2-1. I'm 3-1. And I just follow random people that show up in my thing. So like me and Big Mike are Instagram friends because over the years,
Right.
at one point I was like, wait, that's Mike? Oh shit! Because we have a mutual friend. I should shout out Big Mike before that. So he grew up in Glen Cove. I went to the Glen Cove YMCA camp I mentioned earlier, and I met Beanie Siegel. I think he was our age, right? You know him, Evan
Beanie
Siegel.
Siegel. Oh,
Evan.
Evan Siegel. Yeah, no, I know him. Yes.
Yeah, so I call him Beanie because that was his nickname when he was like 5. And
Oh, I actually have a funny. I actually have a funny story to tell you about him after you're done.
no, say it. He's a funny cat.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, in my senior, so I've hung out with Evan Siegel before. I think he like lives in like the same apartment complex as Big Mike. I'm pretty sure he does.
Dude, we were
But
tight. Me, Beanie Siegel, and Big Mike were the crew at the YMCA. And shout out Glenn Hefter and Victor and oh my god, there was a bunch of us. But the boys, 4th grade, we were menaces. The Amoroso twins too. We were absolute menaces, and Evan Siegel and Big Mike were 2 of them. So it's so funny we have those mutual friends.
yeah. Um, but the story was back in my senior year of high school, like Big Mike and Evan Siegel, they're actually a year below me. So they were class of 2012 in Glen Cove High School. And
That's
I was
me.
2011.
I'm
Yeah.
2010. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're the same class year as them. But
Yeah.
I remember one time I was on the lunch line and in a school, and then Evan, he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, Topo." And I'm just like, "Hey, Evan, what's up?" And he was just like, "Hey, yeah, I just got detention." I'm just like, "Why?" And he was just like, "Oh, I burped in the head cheerleader's face, and a teacher saw it." And I was just like, "What?" He was like, "Yep." So I got detention. I'm like, all right. Like that's like I don't know that it was just so funny that he gets attention for burping in somebody's face. The head cheerleaders, no less, but
Dude, he was a crazy kid. It was a lot of fun too. I remember what's it called? I had a lot of fond memories from that YMCA Glen Cove camp, except for I have one really bad memory. I got a Charizard stolen year like
oh
2000.
no,
Yeah, I left it in my locker while I was in the pool swimming. I got back
oh
out and
no,
it was gone. I was crying. I was crying. But dude, it's just like so fucking cool to me that I there's got to be more of us too from this area that like have mutual friends and know like have those stories with mutual people. Yeah,
yeah,
Beanie Siegel, we just doxed the shit out of him. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's doing well. I haven't talked to him probably since we were in the fourth grade at the YMCA B4 age group, boys fourth grade age group. That's what it was called, B4. So it was just like they would have B4, B3 for boys, third grade, G3 for girls, third grade. You know, they would set it up and separate everyone. It was just like probably that's the last time I've seen Beanie. And but no, that's why when you was like I went to Glen Cove. You know Dante Curcio?
no,
He was no my age. He transferred into the high school late. He's the homie. Oh, I'm trying to think of who else I know from Glen Cove now. The Amoroso twins went to St. Anthony's like me. So anyone from St. Anthony, anyone that went to I went to St. Anthony, Huntington, and I didn't go to Locust Valley. So what's it called? But went to Locust Valley Middle School, and now it's funny because people are like randomly following me from that I haven't seen since middle school, and they're like,
yeah,
"Dude, you stream good shit!" Like, and one of them came in randomly that I haven't like. We were just friendly in middle school. We never really hung out outside school, but anytime we were in the same class or like gym class, we were hanging out, that type of shit. And dude, that was the most random thing. So like, that's what. I'm like now. Anytime someone like that comes in, I'm gonna be like, you know anyone from Glen Cove? You know ToppoWoppo? That's what I've been thinking that one too. Now we got another homie in the like, oh my god. But man, it's so fucking cool. It's so cool to see that like we're doing really similar things, man. So my next question is now like, what are your plans for this season? I know you have a newborn essentially still. He's still young. But like, what are your plans for events this season? I know you said NAIC. Are you going to try to hit any other regionals? It's hard for our area. There's nothing driving distance, bro.
yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna go to NAIC for sure. My wife also agreed to come with me,
Let's
so
go! I gotta meet her.
yeah. So yeah, you'll meet her there. Besides NAIC, regionals, probably not. I don't think I'm gonna go to any regionals. There's a very, 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 very slight possibility that I might go to EUIC, just because my wife and I were gonna go to Ireland, for like a vacation, and then like she like randomly brought up to me, um, that she wanted to go to London too, and she like asked me like, hey, why don't you just go to EUIC? If we do go to London. So there's a very slight possibility that I might go there.
Your wife
But
sounds
it's
awesome.
yeah,
It's like,
no,
hey,
she's
I know you want to go. Let's do this. Let's and then, dude, that's a realistic shot at Worlds if you go to those two events alone.
yeah. She was actually okay with me going to Charlotte too. I mean, I like backed out all on my own because like I myself like had felt guilty about it, but like
Yeah.
she's very supportive. I love my wife. Shout out to Bridget. So,
Shout out.
um, yeah. But I probably won't go to EUIC because it requires my parents to babysit her son. And I think my mom's still going to be in China around the time that EUIC takes place. So unless she like comes back like earlier or something, um, yeah, I don't think there's any shot that we can go to EUIC. But I guess I'll have to ask my mom to see if she'll be able to come back so she can watch my son. But even if EUIC is not a go, NAIC most definitely is. I mean, if there's any like locals that are like close enough, I'll probably like go to that. But I guess like for regionals, Probably not. I'm
I'm
not
only
really
going
too
to
pressed.
Orlando,
Oh,
and then LA. I'm going to because I have family in it. So I have somewhere to
right.
stay, and that's like the big game changer.
Yeah.
If I was like trying to like cut it out like I was last year, probably, but
Yeah.
Orlando, dude, it's a cheap flight from JFK, so that's one to look into. It's not till April too.
Right.
It's this a weekend after EUIC. So I was like,
Mhm.
oh, maybe I'll try to do EUIC NAIC only, and then I was like, wait, I'm just gonna do Orlando, keep it cheaper. So that's my plan too. But
Yeah.
bro, dude, this is so cool. Like, what? Have you ever been to a regional?
I have. I actually went to Secaucus back in 2022, but I
Oh
got
my gosh.
absolutely rolled. Yeah, I
Wait,
got rolled. I only went 3-5. So,
talk about your prep for that event. What was your prep like going in? So this was your first ever
so
regional. You'd never
yep.
experienced it before. I'm always curious about that. Like, what were you doing to try to set yourself up for
So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't. I didn't prep at all.
Okay.
I was actually like, I think I was just like actually kind of like out of it during that time.
Okay.
And I went, and then like I guess like when I got there, like I'm not gonna lie, I kind of didn't want to be there anymore. So yeah, but then also like I just like didn't prep. So I mean, even if I wanted to be there, I think I would have performed the same. So like I went, and then I brought like a really weird trick room team. And I had Hatterene on the team still.
Let's
And it just
go.
yeah, but it just didn't work out. But like I remember, I think my first opponent, I think that was like one of my like closest games. I was playing against Ian Holdeman. I think he's a
He's the homie.
yeah, I think he's from Utah. But he was my very first opponent, round one. And I actually beat him round one. Because on my very last turn of Trick Room, I got the double Trick Room up, uh, calling that he would double protect. Um, so I won round one, and then round two, game two he beat me, and then game three, I think I was in a pretty good position with a Dynamax Calyrex Ice, and I got up like several like Max Quakes, and I was like targeting the right slots, right? Like I was like calling his protects, and then unfortunately with his Kyogre, he got like a crit with the Max Geyser onto my +2 Spadef
Hell yeah.
Calyrex Ice, and that pretty much sealed the game. But I mean, it was a close game nonetheless. And then I think like game two, I played against the Milwaukee champion from last year. I think his name's like Z Zhang.
Yeah, Zhang.
Yeah. So he beat me really badly. And then game three, I played against Z
Dude, you
Costagliola,
had a
I think his.
stacked schedule. All three of those
Yeah.
guys are awesome.
Yeah, and he rolled me too. He both games he started with Regieleki, a physical Regieleki, and a Cali Shadow, and he called my trick room. He trick roomed me the first game because I didn't know he had trick room. And in the second game, he made the call to go for trick room again, reversed my trick room, and I lost off that. But I knew who he was. I was just like, yeah, I didn't think I was gonna beat him, but um, yeah, and I won like one game with like Gmax Hatterene, and then like this like other game I played against this other game I won because I sent in a Galarian Zapdos at min speed with an Iron Ball under Psychic Terrain, and I think my opponent he tried to fake it out with Incineroar
Oh my god,
because like you can
with the
fake out a
flying
flying
type.
type. Yeah, but because of the Iron Ball, it was grounded by terrain, and the fake out failed. And I literally saw through the peripheral vision, my opponent, his like eyes just like widened, like what the fuck. Um, and then the next thing you see is my Galarian Zapdos killing it with close combat. Um, yeah, and I beat him too, basically because of that cheesy strat. And then my
Playing you and him was
final,
cheap, but was probably was medicine.
yeah,
Bro, my god, that's so goddamn funny. Pin speed Iron Ball Galarian Zapdos, funniest thing I've think I've ever heard. And it works. I'm thinking about it now. In that meta, in Series 12 meta, it's like Zapdos was just too fast.
yeah,
I was running Cali Ice too. It was just oh my god, that's so fucking funny. I can see it working. I can see you making it work with Hatterene too.
Yeah.
Hysterical. Oh, wait, what was your
And the
final
cool
round? Oh, yeah.
Oh, oh, sorry. Before I get into the
Yeah,
before I get into
yeah,
that, I was gonna say, so the cool thing about Galarian Zapdos at min speed with like an Iron Ball is that it's actually slower than Calyrex Ice. So in addition to just being able to like snipe Incineroars, right, and also like you can't intimidate it because it has Defiant. So that's why it's like a perfect counter to like Incineroar if you're running like Psychic Terrain. It also got coaching, so because it's slower than Calyrex Ice, you could use coaching before your Calyrex Ice moves, and then you could use like Glacial Lance or I don't know Max Hailstorm, whatever the heck you want to
like
use
+1.
on the Calyrex Ice. Yeah, and then with the +1 defense and attack. So that was like also the idea behind it. But yeah, if I could have changed anything, I probably would have swapped out Hatterene for like Porygon too. Maybe I would have done a little bit better. But also like I was just like, yeah, I just didn't do well at Secaucus overall. And then my last opponent was actually the guy who won Beast Coast, Grant Laird.
Yeah, he sent me.
But yeah, he like I except he didn't like show up to the match because like we were both like 2-5. So I mean, I guess I understand like he just didn't want to play anymore. So like he didn't show up to the match. I got the win by default, not actually a win. And then he just like came up. He was like, "Hey, did they already give you the win?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool, bye." And then he just dipped. But yeah, that was my one and only interaction with him.
Sounds about right. That sounds about right for anyone that's met Grant. Oh, wow. Dude. That was my second ever regional. That was a really stacked event. Even getting 3 wins is something like to be proud of. And like, how crazy is it? We used to play closed sheets compared to now.
Yeah. Open team sheets just like it just feels like so much better. Like I'll admit, I barely play open team sheets because I'm mostly a
Yeah, you're
ladder
mostly
warrior,
laddering.
right?
Yeah.
But like I have participated in open team sheet tournaments. I think the first one I participated was Nito's I think it was like Nito's Friendly Fight 63. It was the one that Ally Switches Pain won. It had
Okay.
like almost like 500 people. And it was like the biggest like probably like online Reg B tournament. And that was like the first time I ever played open team sheets. And I went 5-4 in that one with like a team that like I just like slapped together like and didn't practice with at all. It actually had a min speed Flutter Mane, which I ended up not really bringing ever because min speed Flutter Mane is just bad. If anyone tries to use it with Trick Room, just don't. And yeah, I went 5-4 there, and I think I didn't know this until like after, but one of my opponents was Freezeye, and I think I beat him 2-1 or 2-0, one or the other. So
Freeze
I
Eye's
was like,
legit.
wow, I was like, wow, I beat him. He was like third in like Swiss, or I forgot like what he was, like third or second in Swiss in Orlando. Um, so I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. So I was like, I guess I'm not trash if I can beat him in a best of three. But yeah, I mean, I've played like open team sheet. It just like feels like so much better because you don't have to like guess. Hey, does this spawn have like a trick room in prison?
Yeah.
Is that Fluttermane even running trick room?
Yep.
And then as soon as I see that the Fluttermane doesn't have trick room, I'm like, okay, that's a go. I'm getting up trick room. They can't stop me. Let's fucking do this.
Can you talk
Whereas
about
with Cloves,
Specs Fluttermane with Trick Room?
the one that I was playing,
Or in general, like, if you see a Specs Fluttermane with Trick Room, I kind of like it. Like, force them to click Trick Room, Because then you can't do anything else once you force them.
yeah, right. I've actually never seen that before, but that's
Really?
actually interesting. That someone would run a trick room with specs because then you got to like you're forced to like switch it out after. But
Yeah, it's just a reverse Trick Room.
yeah,
Because the thing with Fluttermanes is a lot of Specs ones don't even click their fourth move anyway. So they'll put like
right,
Thunderbolt, Power Gem. You saw the Grass Energy Ball, which was a nice adaptation at Worlds. But yeah, no,
right.
you'll see. Misty Terrain is the bad one. I hate seeing Fluttermanes with Misty Terrain. That was specifically like the Nails team building group was doing that for a while. Puerto Rico,
Mhm.
Sohaib and D'Angelo and them had that too. And it's just that's the scariest fourth move on Specs Flutter. Don't fuck my terrain. But yeah, man, dude, it's like Thank you for coming on and spending your time. We already hit the 45-minute mark too. But like, dude, you were one of the people I was like, I gotta have, like, bro, we have so much in common. We're from the same area, like the same Twitch, the same Trick Room style. I was like, bro, I relate to you so much. I was like, I gotta get you on and talk to you, you know. And again, every time I interact with you, you go up another notch in my book. I really do appreciate having you.
Thank you.
Like, yeah, is there anything else that we didn't hit that I'm forgetting before you like start wrapping up? I usually try to keep these
Oh,
under an hour. So we got like 15
yeah.
minutes. To play with.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's plenty of time. I think I just I think if we could, I just wanted to like revisit the like Twitch stuff real quick.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Um, sorry. So, oh, sorry, I muted myself for a second. So what I was gonna say was so like yeah, I would get like raids from Mastermark, right? And that's like something that would like help like that like sort of like help like my followers in Twitch. But like honestly from like 2021 throughout like all of 2022, my Twitch was like pretty stagnant. Like I don't even think I broke like 200 followers during that time.
Were you streaming
So
a
like
lot?
I actually was not streaming too much. Like I when I would stream, I'd stream for like hours, but like, you know, it'd be like to like nobody, right? Like I'd pretty much just be like talking to myself. But also like I just like to stream just because I play better when I stream as opposed to when I don't.
I
And
feel like I play worse sometimes. I'm so distracted.
really I I think part of it is that like when I play like off stream, like I can get like angrier a bit easier, right? Like if I like misplay or something, I'll like scream, I'll go like fuck, like shit, you know, something like that. Whereas like on stream, like I'm more composed and I don't do that. And I don't feel a need to do it when I stream. So
Better for your
yeah,
mental.
that it's better for my mental. It's better for my wife. Because I will admit it's a very bad habit, right? Like when I play like when I like used to like when I played like off stream like over a year ago, I would scream and I would curse every time something went wrong, and my wife would just like look at me like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Um, you know, especially now that I have a baby, right? Like I shouldn't be
Yeah.
doing that, and I don't. But then I noticed like every time I'm like streaming, I'm like so calm and I'm composed and like I'm like talking things out, I'm thinking things out, and like even when I lose, I just don't get angry, and I'm like, you know, streaming's like a great way for me to play VGC. So that's also a big reason why I stream. Basically, because like you know, I don't lose it when I'm streaming, even if whether I win or lose. Like I might get like upset if like you know I lose to like something really stupid, but I don't like scream and curse like you know how I used to when I didn't stream and play VGC. Um, but yeah, I'm probably I might be one of the few who play better when they stream as opposed to when they don't. But like I just can't play VGC if I'm not like streaming. Like if I play VGC, I just have to stream. Unless I'm like at like a IRL event, right? Like obviously at the local, I didn't like curse or anything like that. You know, I had a lot of fun there, whether I won or lost. So
I didn't hear
um,
you cursing at like a couple tables down. That would have been really.
yeah, no. I think the only thing that kind of made me want to curse was one opponent. I beat him 2-1. Like he like rolled me game one, and then the next two games I destroyed him because I knew like what to do against his team because I like played it before. And I said GG to him, and he didn't say anything. So I'm like, hey, GG, and he like stares me right in my soul, and then he just turns back down and just ignores me again. I'm just like, all right, well, fuck you then. Well, in my head, I didn't say it like out loud, but I
Oh,
kind of have a personal
yeah.
I have a I have a personal vendetta against him. So like anytime I see like his name on RK9, like I just like pray that he doesn't make day two or cut. Um
You got to tell me who
and
that is off camera. I feel like we talked about this. I want to know.
yeah,
Oh, that's so funny.
yeah. I will say that he did make top four at a Worlds before, a previous Worlds. But I'm not yeah, I'll tell you I'll tell you offline, but I'm not gonna, you know, announce it for everybody else to know.
Yeah, now I
Oh
exactly. We did talk.
yeah,
Yeah, they've always been nice to me too, which is important. Yeah, I seen that happen.
yeah.
They
Um
for a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, for like yeah, but like for Twitch, you know, like I said, Twitch was like pretty stagnant for like a while. And I think it really turned around in 2023.
Okay.
So there was someone that Himi had mentioned in your interview with him, um, that there was someone that he mentioned, Pink Sea Pie. I think he said that like she like introduced him to Nito, right? Um, and I was in her Discord server, and I remember the way that I met Himi was that one day I was just like, streaming again into the void, didn't really have any viewers. And then Himi rated me, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, Topo? Pink told me about you. She says like, you're pretty good at VGC. I mean, I'm not, but
I think you are.
that's what she. Oh, well, thank you. But yeah, basically that's what she told him. So he came to me because she told him about me, and that's how I got to know Himi. Um,
He's the man.
yeah, he
Yeah.
he is the man. Like, I think, like honestly, I don't know if this is true or not, but I like to think that the reason for my growth is because of Himi. Because of Himi, because of Pink. I feel like ever since like I like met both of them and became friends with Pink Sea Pie and Himi Turner 69, um, I just felt like somehow like my Twitch like viewership just like spiked because like I like made friends with like other people that like they were friends with, and I feel I don't know if Himi did this or not, but I feel like people like funneled in from like his server to like come watch me, and yeah, just like out of nowhere back in like June, um I think like after the local that we had gone to, like I started like regularly getting a double digit viewership, which was a surprise to me. And then like during like NAIC, I like streamed in the morning, because I wanted to like watch NAIC like later in the day, on Saturday and Sunday. Like I had like 20 to like 30 viewers out of nowhere. Um and then yeah, and then like after that I started like streaming like regularly on Saturdays and Sundays, and then like one Sunday, like I hit 50 viewers out of nowhere, like without raids.
I
And I
still
was
have
really
yet to do
surprised by
that.
that.
Yeah, see, I've never
Oh,
done that. That's something I'm like, I'm trying to grow, but the raids help me so much. But before the raids, my streams are sometimes lacking, and then I'll get a raid that and I'll retain the viewers. But it's like, how do I grow without raids all the time? And that's really cool to
yeah,
see that you were like seeing that growth too. That's like a huge accomplishment that I hope you're very proud of.
yeah. Thank you. And I'm the same as you. Like, I used to like love, like, I still like getting raids, right? But like now I'm like much more focused on like I just want like as much organic viewership as possible. Like people who like stay in my who like come to my stream and watch me like without raids. Like that's like what I guess like I like really focus on now, or like try to focus on. Like if I get a raid, all the better. But yeah,
When I
like
get a raid,
nowadays, like
I focus on
mhm,
retention. I'm like,
yeah,
how many of these viewers am I able to keep?
yeah, I'm the same way, and I feel like the past few times I got raided, I think I managed to keep a pretty good amount. Because like usually they would just like all dip, and then I have like 10 viewers. But
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
what
like
happened at first too.
yeah,
That's
yeah, but
exactly
like
what
now,
happened.
yeah, but nowadays it's like I got the viewership, and well, I got like organic viewership, right? There's like probably like 20 to 30. Even like if I get like double digits, I'm like happy. But yeah, but I mean even if I don't get double digits, like just like my streams now as compared to like when I first started, um they're just like so much better. People are actually talking to my chat. I don't feel like I'm boring. So that's really cool to see. And, now I have over 600. I have over 600 viewers, and I'm hoping to continue to grow. So
Dude, you're inspiring me too. It's like, dude, I'm looking at you, bro. Like, dude, it's possible for us to get. I think we can make a partnership. I don't know how long, but it's just like, I think like see the path, see the vision, and like see someone else. It's like, I think you're a bit ahead of me, to be honest. With viewership, the organic growth, the Twitter follow, like the Twitch followers, stuff like that, and it's just like that's why I wanted to talk to you so much too. I was just like, this is very cool to see someone like on a similar path, but I think like a couple of steps ahead of me. It's just like I can't say enough how cool it is to see that. Like you're not like us having similar numbers. Because again, I'm talking to Himmy and he's a partner. I'm talking to Sableye who's making the partner push. I'm talking to Nino who's a partner. I'm talking to Jin who's a partner. And it's just like, you guys are crushing it, man. I hope to get there one day, but it felt so much longer away. See you like around the similar spot as me. It's like it's reassuring, I guess. I don't know how else to put it, but like I appreciated you tweeting out that stream summary because I was just like, wait, like Spider-Man meme. Like, wait, that's my numbers too. Like, I love seeing that. Really, like, oh man, I want to see you grow, like, to get that organic 50 every single time you stream. And hopefully, I can get there one day too. But it's just like cool goals to fucking have, man. It really is.
Yep. Do we still have time?
Yeah, we got another 5, 10
Oh,
minutes. See, I
yep.
noticed that the view time for most of them drops off after the first like hour and 50. So that's why I was like,
Right.
if I have an episode longer than an hour, like I know after like an hour, hour 15, it'll start to cut off. So yeah,
Right.
shoot, let's just keep
Uh,
talking. Let's shoot the shit. Because I'm not
yeah.
doing this
No.
for anything, I'm just having fun with it.
Yeah.
It's an excuse to talk to friends.
Yeah, I was also going to say a lot of another thing that I did so like when I wasn't streaming, I was like I guess trying to like make friends with like other VGC people. So like like I mostly just like kept to myself, right? But then I'm like, like no one's going to watch me if nobody knows me. So I try to like go to other people's streams, you know, follow some people on Twitter, um right? And yeah, basically just like networking. I think Moxie Boosted once made a tweet. He said something like, like you could like stream for like 14 hours a day, but if you don't know anybody and if you don't make friends and if you don't have any networking, right? Like those 14 hours of streaming, they're going to be meaningless. But I mean, like, yeah, like, like I see your Twitter, right? Like everyone and their moms knows who you are nowadays, right?
I
Like for
don't know
me,
how I got there. To be honest with you, it's a cool feeling though. Walking into the local and people being like, "Oh, you're Tom Hayden," and I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh, you know my name, but you don't know me." It's a weird feeling, but I don't know how I really got there. But it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, but I mean, you got it right. Like I don't have anywhere near as many like Twitter followers as you do, but like I
Trying to be
still
a
like
service advocate. The spooky cup help though,
yeah.
because my spooky cup tweet I just announced. So anyone listening to this, let me promo that I guess.
Yep.
I got 23.4K interactions. We're hosting a
Wow.
spooky cup. Go to my Twitter, Tom Hayden 27, and you can find it. But Twitter is like a huge platform. So I I went viral in Nick's Twitter for a minute, and
Mhm.
that was it. And then like I just had like 300 followers, and then I just went exclusively Pokemon, and I'm 9 followers away from 13. But I
Oh
didn't
wow.
realize like that Twitter was so interconnected with Twitch. You think it? I you, I don't. I think it is. I think you're right, but I didn't realize. So, like, what other platforms are you networking on other than Twitter and Twitch? Is there anything else?
Uh, honestly, just probably just Twitter and Twitch. I don't really use Instagram at all. But like even like Twitter, I'm not like I don't roll. I'm not like doing like that great of a job. I don't feel like with like networking, but like I did make some connections on Twitter, even if it was just a few, and I feel like
We met
those
through
helped.
Twitter. This is a cool
Yeah,
connection we've made through Twitter. You know,
yeah. All right. Yeah. So that actually, yeah. So I did get a lot of value out of it. But yeah,
right?
but
Like that.
also just
You
yeah.
saw it with a Twitter bio, Bayville, and that's when we first started talking. Came into the Twitch chat, so it's like it
Yeah.
works, man. And I like that. But I was talking to my buddy Skeleton. He's one of the mods in my Discord. He reached out because he saw a cool Pop Bomb Oranguru mouse build. Pop Bomb
Mhm.
household Oranguru. That Pop Bomb
Right.
Oranguru. But what's it called? I was like, dude, the Discord subs. Back to that. I'm thinking about charging for like, shooting the shit knowledge, and then I was like, I would miss meeting friends organically. People asking me about my phone, and I wouldn't feel comfortable talking about it for free if I'm going to be
Mhm.
charging different like price plans. Like, and it's like a real opportunity cost though, because making friends in this community is so cool. Like just reaching out to
Yeah.
people and just being like, hey, I vibe with you. Oh, dude, we got this in common. Like that's really cool. And it's just like reaching out, networking like that is invaluable. Like, just if you see
Yeah.
someone that's cool on Twitter, reach out because that's what Topo did, and I'm so happy like that we became friends through that. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you came to the Jersey Mike's I work at and took a selfie too. That was my coworkers were like, "Okay, what was that?" I was like, "Oh, that's a friend." You know,
I'm gonna do that again in the future, by the way.
that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Um, yeah, and then also just like going into other people's Twitch streams and just like I don't know, regular, just like becoming friends with them there. I think that's pretty much how I became. Oh, sorry. I think that's like how I became friends with Pink and Himi, who
I don't know
honestly like
Pink. I gotta meet.
yeah, I think she's a Poke Bro. Yeah, she is a Poke Bro as well, but she hasn't streamed in like pretty long time. But I honestly do contribute like my growth on Twitch this year to them. Even if it's in a very roundabout way. And also just like they just inspired me to stream more in general.
Yeah,
Seeing how both of them hustled. Like Pink used to stream every single night for like hours and hours on end, and Himmy,
not
right?
easy.
Like he streamed. Yeah, it's not easy. Like most of the time, like when before I even start stream, like I don't even want to stream because it's just like mentally exhausting to do so. Like I just want to laze around, just relax. Whereas like I guess like with like streaming, you gotta, you really got to put effort into it.
Commitment.
Um,
It's a commitment.
yeah,
You gotta do
it's
it
a
if you
commitment.
want to do it the way Himi does. He has to treat it like a second job.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Pink definitely did the way she was doing it, saying like she was doing it every night. The way Jin used to do it during COVID, he would have to, treat it like a job. And that's why the Nino, that's why these people get to where they're at.
yeah,
They are all inspiring. It's like really cool to hear you say that because Jimmy's inspiring me too. You know, Nino's inspiring me too. The same way Pink, Dave Live, VGC is inspiring me too. You're inspiring me too. You know, yeah, man. It's really cool to see though that very similar mindset. Can't say yeah,
yep,
we're right around that hour mark. So again, this is
yep,
usually where the viewers dip off. And then if I'm listening
yep.
to a podcast that goes over an hour, I usually like split it up. I don't have I'm usually driving in the car for like 30, 40 minutes. So like an
Mhm.
hour episode is perfect for like breaking it up, you know, on
Yeah.
the way there, on the way home, knock out an hour podcast. So that's why, again, I usually try to keep it around an hour. But
All
anything else
right.
before we get out of here?
No, I mean, thank you again for having me on. Can't wait to see this released.
I think
Hopefully I
we
didn't sound
should
like a
shoot it
stuttering
out on
idiot.
Monday. On just Monday, just let it rip.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll watch the whole thing. I feel like I stuttered a lot or I was like rambling a lot, but
I
hopefully not.
rambled too much.
Um,
I definitely rambled too much. But that's what happens. Yeah, dude, I stayed late at work, so a little behind the scenes. I was like an hour and a half, 2 hours. No, right. We said five. I showed up at seven, so I was 2 hours late to my own podcast. So again, I'm so sorry about that. You were like, no, I'm not doing anything. Don't worry about it. I ended up staying late at work, so I just like got home and then started doing this. So I am a bit tired too. But this was so much fun. I'm so happy we got to do this, man. Like I am so
yeah,
happy. And again, thank you for your
same.
time and thank you for being so cool. Like I love it, man. I can't wait to hang out with you at NAIC and see you at locals before that too. Because I'm not going to the Rutgers local or the other New Jersey local on the 20th. I'm gonna be in
Mhm.
Texas for a bachelor party on the 20th through the 22nd. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, no, man. I'll be at some of the other Jersey locals announced. I'll be at the Jersey MSSs, the Long Island locals. If you ever come out here for a Long Island local, hit me up, man. And I got a little carpool crew now. Me, Jacob Scraw, and Chuppa have been the carpool crew to anything in Jersey. So if you're on Long Island, you can join us. If you're in PA, we'll meet you there. And
All right, for sure.
dude, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this upcoming season. I'm so excited about streaming too. When's your next stream?
Um, I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight or not, but if not tonight, then tomorrow, probably tomorrow night
All
or
right.
tomorrow morning, one or the other.
So yeah, go check out ToppoWoppo. ToppoWoppo. Did I spell that right?
Oh, yes.
Awesome. And yeah, go shoot him a follow. Good friend. And fuck yeah. I think that's it. I don't know how to end this. I'm a little rusty, so I'll see everyone next time.